Christy Renee with the Heads Up Foundation and Heads Up Media. We are back at the roundtable again today. This is volume 32. I am so excited to be back with you all to have another great show. We've got two great guests coming up, very young, accomplished student athletes that we can't wait to talk to. One of them we've had before. Now we've got him back again with another great student athlete. So this is volume 32. Show 32. Can you believe it? We've come this far and just staying on top of it. So I can't go any further, of course, without bringing out the visionary, the sports influencer himself and the founder of the Heads Up Foundation for the last 17 years. We salute him and we are excited to have him keep doing what he's doing. Jabari Johnson, come on out.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Christy Renee, great to see you as always.
It's great to be seen. Thank you. Good to see you too. How's it going? Number 32.
Hanging out here with my trusty mascot. Sebastian says hello, everybody.
Hey, Sebastian.
No, we're just sitting here excited about another edition of the Roundtable. Got two incredible young men, not only great athletes, but even better young men, high character guys, scholar athletes. Both of these guys are getting it done on the court as well as in the classroom. Both of them boast very high GPAs, and is the reason why they're being recruited by just about every major college in the country right now. So before we get into that, I want to talk about the injustice that has gone on in Georgia with Ahmaud Arbery. That was a tragic episode to see him gunned down in the street for simply jogging in his neighborhood. I really hope we wake up as a result of that and kind of come together and have a cry for justice for that young man, because we definitely can't have stuff like that happening in our communities in America. So just wanted to make sure I shouted that out. You guys, if you don't know about what happened, go check it out. Very, very heart-wrenching story that went on today in Georgia, a couple of days ago in Georgia. So
yeah, it's a shame that in the middle of a global pandemic where the human race is struggling and we're all affected. It's affecting, it has no, it's just, it's so disheartening to know that even in these times, and maybe this is just another awakening moment that we need to pay attention to. That racism has not gone anywhere, unfortunately, and a pandemic hasn't cured it. So yes, our hearts go out to that whole situation, and hopefully justice will be done, will be served. So now we, get on the good foot and get ready to bring in these two incredible individuals that we are excited to sit and get in depth with today at the round table. Trey Alexander and Colin Smith, y'all come on in. Y'all gonna get to introduce yourselves today. Hey, Trey. Hey, Colin.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
How y'all doing?
You're doing good.
Good. Great to see y'all. Appreciate y'all joining us here on the Sports Influencer Roundtable.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Why don't you go ahead? Colin, you're a pro at this by now, so go ahead and introduce yourself, working with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Give us your slate, and then we'll get to you, Trey.
I'm Colin Smith. I go to the St. Mark's School of Texas, and I play guard, class of 2022.
Okay. Trey.
I'm Trey Alexander. I go to Heritage Hall, class of 2021. I play guard, and yeah.
Okay. Welcome, gentlemen.
So we've got a junior and a sophomore in the building.
Yes. Got it.
Wow. And you all have such lengthy. Let's go ahead and read some of the accolades so far. Let's see. Trey, you're at Heritage Hall in Oklahoma, a 6'5" junior guard, 29 points per game, 9.5 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game, and you're just a junior. You're number one all-time rebounder, and you're just 100 points shy of your scoring record. What's that record?
I want to say it's like 2,167, something like that.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
ma'am.
You just 100 buckets shy. 100 points, rather. I guess not buckets, but that's incredible. And let me talk about Colin. Colin, you know, my goodness, we've seen your moments, great moments. We've memorialized, and we've had the pleasure of watching you many times. You are averaging 21.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 blocks per game. You are the SPC, St. Mark's state champion. Golly. And then y'all just have all these offers. Like, I can't even read all the offers. You know,
Yeah, we'll get into that later. We'll dive into that a bit later.
So let me ask the two of you, how are you all managing? Trey, I want to start with you. How are you managing? You know, how's Oklahoma, first of all? And what's that climate like for the COVID-19 quarantine state that we're in? And then how are you managing? How are you doing with school?
I'm managing very well. My school has actually started doing online learning, and we've been doing Zoom meetings just like these to be able to stay in touch with our teachers, being able to stay in touch with everything that we have going on outside the classroom. Basketball wise, I've been doing great also. I'm one of the little amount of people that are able to get into a gym around these times, so I'm very blessed in that sense. But also Oklahoma has just reopened everything. I think they reopened everything in May 1st, I want to say. I think it was May 1st, but everything's starting to open back up. But, you know, it's still a lot of cases in Oklahoma. It's not as much as other places, but there's still a lot of cases in Oklahoma.
Now, is your family personally making a decision to get out and stay home as much as possible?
No, ma'am, not at all. No.
So which is it? Y'all are staying home?
Oh, we're staying at home. My mom and my dad let us go anywhere.
Mom don't play.
She said, as for me and my house, we're going to stay. All right. Colin, let's catch up with you since we last spoke. How are things going? It's been a few weeks.
Yeah. So recently, just like in Oklahoma, they just starting to open up stuff. So I've been getting the gym lately, like a couple times this week. So it's much better basketball-wise. But school, we just Zoom classes, just trying to keep learning during these times. So everyone's just trying to make the best of the situation. So
now, last time we talked, Colin, we had you and the entire team on here. We went around and talked a little bit about how things were going at home. It was like early into the quarantine. It might have been week 1 or something like that. And yeah. I got a question I want to ask you. Are you still driving your sister and your parents crazy at this point in the quarantine?
It's definitely gotten worse. It's definitely it doesn't help I'm beating them in every board game. So yeah.
He said it's definitely gotten worse.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I love the sheer honesty that y'all have. It's good. Well, good. Well, again, we hope, we got a lot more to talk about, so I'll just kind of wrap this up. As we told Colin when he was last here, the goal is to encourage you all to try to manage this as best you can, because this is also you having to be responsible and independent and autonomous is really what college is like, especially if that's your pursuit. So now is the time to master time management, being independent, and being responsible. So please make sure y'all are staying safe when you're getting DMs around other people. The question is, it's not you. It's also, where have other people been? So you just never know who's walking around and could be carrying anything. So that's my big fuss right there, is cover it up and stay at a distance. But I'm glad y'all are able to at least get in there and put some shots up. That's good.
So speaking of, and Trey, I asked you this, has there been something that you've gained from this whole coronavirus quarantine and not really being able to have a normal way of life? What's something good that's come out of this for you?
It's definitely taught me not to take anything outside of family time and everything like that for granted, because you never know like what goes on out in the real world. We always think that us being able to get out is something that has to happen, or something being in the gym is something that we are given. But I feel like it's more of a blessing than anything for us to know that at the end of the day we have something going down like this, and we have to use our time wisely with what we do throughout the day, instead of just taking everything for granted.
Good deal. Colin, how about you?
Similar to him, I think it's just spending time with your family. Yeah, because like for me, I'm usually doing a basketball tournament, or my sister is doing a volleyball tournament. So it's like we don't really get to see each other that much. But I think for us, it's a really good time for us to get back talking to each other. Like we usually don't play board games, but we've been doing that a lot lately. I think it's just a bonding time for us. So I think that's spend time with your family, because you didn't know what's going to happen.
Okay. And let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the seasons that each one of you had, the school seasons that each one of you had. Colin, you guys ended up winning the state championship, the SPC state championship. Talk a little bit about your season with St. Mark's, both as a team and individually, and some of the top programs you had to compete against this year.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that our gym got destroyed, so that kind of started the season off bad, but we weren't going to let that stop us. So we had a really good schedule this year, played against some of the top teams in the country and Texas. So I think that kind of prepared us for the SPC tournament, just playing against all the top talent, just showing us that we can hang with anybody, and especially in the SPC. And for me, I think this was definitely my best season yet. I had that 42-point game, and I think it was just showing that I can be aggressive, get to the basket, just score, find teammates. I think just show everything I could do.
Absolutely. You definitely had one of the best seasons by far of most of the players, far and wide this year. 29 points a game, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 3.9 assists. You were doing a little bit of everything this year. So what were some of the keys to your development from your freshman year to your sophomore year? What were some of the things you wanted to focus on to make sure you came back better?
Definitely my freshman year, I was a little less aggressive. So I think that was the key for me this year, just be more aggressive, because we had some people leave, so I knew I was going to have to step up in the scoring aspect. I think that was definitely the main thing, just try to be more aggressive in the games. And my aggressiveness they're going to start looking at me so that I can find open teammates. So I think that was the main point this year.
Absolutely. You guys had a loaded crew this year. You guys are one of the best teams to watch just because of the way you play. You guys had Andrew, who's headed to Penn. You got 5-star junior in Harrison Ingram. You got the sharpshooters in Corbin O'Praya and Trey. Talk a little bit about that team dynamic and how fun it was just playing with those guys.
Yeah, that was definitely probably the best experience I had with a team. The chemistry was just crazy. We spent a lot of time together, especially during the season and before. Actually, we had a lot of open gyms, so I think that really helped us with our chemistry. And I think that we were just best friends that whole season. Everybody liked everybody, so I think that's one of the most important parts about team. You gotta build that chemistry up, because that's gonna help you in the games. When you starting slow, you just gotta pick it back up.
So, Colin, I don't know if we asked you this the last time you were here, but I'm curious, who would you classify as the best player you've played against in school and or AAU? If you've got 2 lists, then that's fine. But who's the one that just gave you all the fire? Okay.
So, freshman year, we played RJ and Lil M, and that was we actually were winning most of the game, but then we start breaking down on defense. I think he had like 28 or something like that, but he was definitely hard to guard. And then actually recently, when the gym started opening back up, I got to play 5-on-5, and I I had to guard Cade Cunningham the whole time, and oh my goodness, that was not.
Number one 2020 in the country.
He's way stronger than he looks. I'll tell you that.
Two big names, huge names. What about you, Trey?
I feel like for school ball, it would probably have to be Bryce Thompson. For AAU ball, I don't even remember the kid's name, but we played him in Peach Jam Championship, and he had like 30-something. He was a left-handed kid for Team Takeover, and he was torching us the whole game. But he was real solid. He was a good player.
Bryce Thompson, man. Bryce is tough. Yeah, definitely. Bryce is a really good choice. So, Trey, let's talk a little bit about your season. Tell us about how you guys did your junior season over at Heritage Hall.
We actually had a great season. We went 26-5 throughout the regular season. We were able to make to the state make to the state tournament, but we were not able to play any of the state tournament considering the fact of the coronavirus. So we were not able to play in the state tournament. But we did have a great year. We started to pick things up towards the end of the season, and it kind of hurt that we weren't able to finish it off because I feel like we had a great chance of winning it.
Yeah, wow, that's always tough. And same thing happened with us here in Texas on the boys' side. I think the girls got a chance to finish, and the boys is usually right after, the week after, and that's right when it hit. We were literally at the state tournament when they made the announcement, like at halftime of the 3A game. We're going to cancel the tournament, that's it. And we looked around like, wow, is this for real? So my heart goes out to all of those guys, especially the seniors who didn't get a chance to finish their season. You know, that's tough. You know, you guys are underclassmen. You'll get another shot at it. But, you know, it's tough to make the state tournament as it is in any class. So you definitely want to be able to have that opportunity. So, Trey, 100 points shy of the scoring record at Heritage Hall High School. Averaged 29 points a game, 9.5 rebounds, 3.9 assists. Talk a little bit about your season individually. What were some of the highs and lows of the season this year for you personally?
Definitely one of the highs of the season was towards the end. I feel like people were starting to come together as a unit. We were able to start bringing our chemistry like to an all-time high, and that was us going out and having a great game. Like at the end of the season, I think we played Jackson Robinson is the last game that we played to get to the state championship, and we expected them to come out and be able to play with us for a little bit, but from the beginning we kind of enforced our dominance, and I think we ended up winning by like 40-something. And we were playing defense. It was just like one of those highlight games where you feel like you were couldn't wait for the state tournament, because I feel like we would have definitely been able to do everything that we were hoping for.
Wow. Okay. And tell me a little bit about your head coach. I've had a chance to kind of see you guys from afar. Catch you at the Elite 14 every year. You guys come to that preseason tournament, get a chance to at least watch you there. And sometimes when you come to the best, but talk a little bit about what it's like to play for the coach over there.
Coach Ham, that's somebody that he has shown me a lot over my past 3 years that I've been at Heritage Hall. He's always been one of those type of people that has wanted to help me as a player, not only on the court but also off the court. He's worried about me as a person, not just as a player. He's always been the type to help wherever I feel like I needed help at, whether it be him trying to help me, telling me like to score first, then pass, or telling me to do this first to open up my scoring. Whatever it feels like will help me as a player and help the team succeed. That's one of the main reasons that I like playing for Coach Ham.
So I have a question. Oh, can I go?
Mm-hmm.
This is a great place to segue into talking about, since you just talked about your high school coach, let's talk about what you're looking for in a program. What attracts you to, y'all have got a hefty list of interest in you and offers. You can go ahead and talk about some of those, but what is it you're looking for in a college program to get you where you're going?
The main thing for me, college-wise, is for the player and coach relationship. I've always said that I wanted to go to a college where I feel like even if basketball isn't always the main thing going on, I would love to have somebody that I can talk to, trying to help me get to the next level on a personal standpoint. Even when maybe I make it to the NBA, and I can always come back and then have a great relationship with that coach, either help out with the team or whatever. But I would just like to have a coach that is on and off the court, not so much as just somebody that's always over you, but somebody that you can look at as somebody like your parent away from home.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point, young fella. He actually, Christy, he holds offers from Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, SMU, Texas A&M, TCU, Texas Tech, Tulsa, Wake Forest, and a ton of others that are seriously interested. He was actually going to probably have a breakout year this spring on the EYBL circuit had it not been canceled. Same goes with Colin on the Adidas side. But so you're looking for that relationship, and we tell kids all the time. We actually had Division I coaches on this broadcast sitting where you're sitting, and they've all said the same thing. It's more of a 40-year decision versus a 4-year decision. That means that you're looking way past just the basketball aspect of it, that next year, whatever college you're going to, like you said, you want a coach that you can always call on. You can go back because, the ball will stop bouncing eventually, and you guys might want to coach or do some other things. And that coach that you played for, he can open up so many doors for you, just by having that relationship. I'm a walking example of it now. My college coach opened up doors for me after I was done playing, and that I'm still benefiting from to this day. So same thing with you guys. Definitely choose wisely. Make sure somebody is going to look out for you way bigger than just a basketball player. The coach that you're going to choose, that's going to be your father figure. As Trey said, that's going to be your father figure for the next 1 to 4 years, however long you're in his program. So you definitely don't want to take that decision lightly, but you guys got a lot of great options, man. Colin, I get over here to you as far as your recruitment is concerned, man. Kansas, Oklahoma State, Texas, Stanford, UCLA, Baylor, TCU, SMU, Mississippi State, Georgetown, interest from Tech, Virginia, Florida State, Memphis, North Carolina, Arkansas, and Purdue. Colin, talk a little bit about some of the things that you're looking for in a college. I know your process, you're it's kind of just starting for you in a sense because you're getting ready to go into your junior season where things start to pick up. But talk a little bit about what you're looking for.
I agree with Trey. I think that forming that relationship with the coach is really important. I also think that the people in the locker room, like the players, I want to go somewhere where the players have the same goal and interest as me, like wanting to win, just want to win everything. And I think that basketball is really important, but I think the school side is also really important because one of the main things me and my parents talk about is like life after basketball. Something happens, you need to make sure you have something that you can go to. So I think that that'll also play a role, like majors and stuff, whatever the school is good at, probably something like that.
One of the things most people don't know about Colin's godfather is a very good basketball player, very renowned basketball player, and my man Kurt Thomas, TCU NBA great Kurt Thomas. So I always tell Colin, you can be half as good as your godfather, you're going to be all right, son.
An influence to have.
Absolutely.
Influence is so important.
So both of these young men are – I want to shift gears and talk a little bit about the academic side of things. Both of these guys are high-performing students, 3.7, 3.8 GPAs, and, really getting it done in the classroom. Trey, how big are academics to you and your family, and why is it so important?
I have always been on the big academics part. My mom has always stayed on me since I could remember. I've always strived to have a great GPA, because I know that's something that college coaches don't want to have to look at. They don't want to have to worry about somebody whether he's going to be eligible at the next level or he's going to be able to play because of his grades. And I feel like it's grades, of course, is more towards the basketball standpoint because that's what I'm worried about more. But grades are definitely big in the sense of college recruitment. College coaches have always contacted me and told me that they're happy that they don't have to worry about my grade point average or how well I'm going to have to do at the next level, considering the fact that I have a great GPA.
Yeah, I say it all the time. The better the student you are, the more recruitable you are. I mean, those guys can. It's no coincidence, Christy, that he has this many scholarship offers from these high major institutions, and a lot of that has to do with his talent, and a lot of it also has to do with his academic ability and the way he's performing in the classroom. So that's good stuff, Trey. Colin, how about you? Talk a little bit about what academics means to you and your household.
It means everything. Like, before I came to St. Mark's in like 4th, 5th grade, something like that, I didn't want to go. I didn't. They were like, okay, you're going to St. Mark's. I was like, okay, it's all boys school. I was like, no, I can't do that. Well, now looking back on it, I was like, yeah, that's probably a good decision because St. Mark's is one of the top academic schools, and I know that that's going to prepare me for college. Everyone that comes from St. Mark's says college is like easy for them, even at Stanford and like all the great schools. Like, I think that it's just really important for me because, like I said earlier, I think life after basketball is really important. I want to enjoy something that I like doing other than basketball. So I think that's the main point is academics. Actually, I've had a poster above my bed for like since I know, and it's like he's like balancing the basketball and like books and stuff. So I think that's something that's really important to me.
Yeah, having a healthy balance is that's life in general. So that's good that you both come from a foundation that really puts academics in the forefront. Because obviously, I mean, y'all have some natural talent with basketball, and there's some things that come naturally with you. So focusing on them books because that's what's gonna go that's the long haul. Is what you put up here. So good deal. I commend you both. I think that's really great.
Now, what's something, Trey, and I'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about this EYBL NBA 2K experience that you guys have had and walk us through that. For those that don't know, tell us all about that and what you guys been doing with that bit of quarantine.
It's like the EYBL's form of trying to get everybody back engaged and trying to take their mind off of us not being able to play. They've taken the top 2K player out of each EYBL team and put them in a tournament, and they basically just try to find a way for us to have fun while everything else bad is going on right now with everything not being able to play our summer right now. So and I give them kudos because I feel like it's very hard for you to set something up like that, and they have went out their way to take our mind off of other things that have been going bad.
Absolutely. Now, how did you get chosen for that? Did y'all have to qualify? Did y'all have a team tournament to see who's going to represent the team, or were you just the best one and they knew it and we got to send Trey?
Everybody just knew that I was the best player in 2K on my basketball team. That was about it. Hey, can't nobody beat me in 2K. It's simple.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Now, where are they with that tournament now? Are you guys still playing? Has it started? Are you finished?
I'm pretty sure that the championship is going to be held this upcoming weekend. I'm almost positive that it's this upcoming weekend.
So who beat you?
Chris, I forgot his last name, but Chris, he was solid. He was real good, actually. He surprised me.
So is there a prize associated with this? What happens in the end?
I have no idea. They didn't say anything about a prize. I guess it was just something about like bragging rights. I guess that's what you could say.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
That was a great idea by the EYBL to put that
Yeah.
together. Just to, like you said, kind of keep the kids engaged and keep their mind off of everything that's going on. So kudos to the Nike folk for putting that together. Colin, what about you? You a 2K player?
Yeah, I mostly play Park though. I don't really play now. So
Okay. You playing the park mode, huh?
yeah, I play with my friends. You know, I got a couple good players.
Okay.
Goodness. Okay, well, we're going to take a pause real quickly. Guys, just stay right where you are. I just want to, we want to talk about some of the things that Heads Up has available online. We have launched virtual classes. We've got 2. We have one for student athletes. It's an Enrichment Academy, a sports enrichment academy, and we teach things like leadership and teamwork, all the different laws and principles of both. And these are things that every student athlete and really just young person in general needs. These are the nuggets of wisdom that they need in order to go to the next level. And college coaches always appreciate that. We talk about media and personal branding. And then on the other side, we have the parent college recruiting workshop, really getting into the nitty-gritty of the process, which is so hairy and tricky sometimes, of the college recruiting process. And so we help parents navigate. So you can sign up for both of these courses online at theheadsupfoundation.org. We are rolling those out. They are ready to go. We've got curriculum for both. And so, it's out there. It's available. One of the things that I will say, I'm going to add this, my personal tip to this, quick commercial break. We always hear, I wish I had known. I wish somebody had told me. So I'm speaking directly to those parents, because the parents are the ones that are also going to sign up the student athlete. That's their kid. And this is for kids in 6th grade on up to seniors in high school. It is available. We even have a pro player ready for some media training. So, this is it's necessary, it's greatly needed, and we have it. We've got the platform. It's designed, it's ready. So head on over to theheadsupfoundation.org after the show, or if you have another device, you can do it now. Check us out and go ahead and sign up today. Thank you.
Fantastic. Yes, definitely. Please get locked into those classes and courses. We got a lot of cool information that we're sharing that would definitely prepare you for the next level, both on and off the court. Gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Got a question I want to ask. Really hot topic been going on in the basketball community in regards to, have you guys caught the documentary, The Last Dance?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to get you guys' reaction, you guys' opinion. And I'm also going to say this too. I want you to answer between Mike or LeBron, who's the better player? I want to hear your response. Go ahead.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
100% Michael Jordan. Nobody compares to Michael Jordan. He is the greatest player to ever touch a basketball.
What did you get from that documentary that you didn't know?
Honestly, I did not know a lot of things about that documentary. I never knew that, first off, I never knew that Scottie Pippen had such a low contract. Like, I never knew that his salary was that low. It blew my mind. And I never knew that Dennis Rodman had he went on that little vacation or whatever. That threw me off. I've never heard of that before. And honestly, it was just crazy. I never knew about I've watched the Dream Team documentary. I've never known that Michael Jordan and his team, like, they was talking back and forth. Michael went on his little 12-0 run by himself. It's greatness. That's all it was.
Absolutely. Colin, what about you?
Yeah, I've been watching it every night and every Sunday, but the biggest thing I saw was like his competitiveness, like that, the way he just carried himself and stuff like that. And I also didn't know much about the Bulls organization. I knew about Michael, but I didn't know how bad like the organization was, how much they didn't like what's his name, Krause or whatever. Like set the team up, but he didn't really help it. Like, he could have done better to keep them together. So I think that show was really good. I like it.
Listen, I'm gonna say this about the whole Trey made the Scottie Pippen remark, and I was actually kind of blindsided by that too. I didn't know he was that underpaid, but you got to understand where he came from and his life circumstances and having to feed his entire family. And I think what did he get? I can't remember the amount of money his contract was, but it was very little. And everybody, go ahead, Colin. You know how much it was?
$7 million or something like that.
It was very little in comparison to NBA standards, and
Exactly.
just goes to show you, man, you never know what somebody is going through at home or who they got to feed, who they got to take care of. So that was a ton of money to Scottie at the time, a ton of money. But yeah, man, that was definitely a great time in basketball. Michael, the thing that I've been hearing people talk about the Michael and LeBron debate, and the thing that separates Mike from everybody, to me, is on the defensive end. Mike was a 9-time first team all defensive performer. 9 times. That's it right there. We can end the discussion of the debate right there, just on that end, just because that hasn't been done before. So, but definitely a great reaction. Coach Christie, had you been catching it, any of it?
I have caught some of it, yes. But let me say this. I lived through it. And not that I don't know all of the behind the scenes, but I had such an appreciation and a love for Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, and just, in that era of basketball, it was just so different. So it's interesting to hear that some of the younger players didn't really know. I mean, they know his name, but to not know his game and know all of those things that made him who he was, it's very fascinating. I'm just grateful that they've put something like this. And again, you get all of the inner workings, and that is important because that stuff is still out there. I mean, it's all of the trickery inside of of that profession, like many professions. But but no, I've not watched it start to finish. So I'm just waiting on the reruns because I want to give them some more ratings after the fact. I'm gonna be part of the second wave.
And one of the things I was really impressed by too is Phil Jackson. I mean, the way he managed all of those egos and personalities and got the most out of them. That's real coaching. I don't know if y'all ever seen this, but have y'all ever seen Phil Jackson screaming and hollering? Never seen him. I've yet to see him scream and holler, which tells me, he knows how to get the most out of his players without having to give himself a stroke.
Right. Yeah, and he's so greatly revered. I mean, to this day, he's just one of those coaches. Can we pivot real quickly? Because we have a live question on Facebook.
Uh-oh.
I know you young people don't fool with Facebook, but listen, this is what we got. So I am asked to ask Colin about the paper his teacher dad made him write. This comes from Lee Smith, who is Colin's dad. So Colin, talk about this paper. The reaction says it all.
Yeah.
I read a book about Kobe Bryant during this, and I wrote a little, like a 1-page little essay for him. So I just wrote about what I thought about the book, how I could implement some of his pre-game stuff, his methods and stuff like that into my game. So that was basically what I wrote about. Okay, and tell us again what the book was. I can't remember the name of it. It was Mama Mentality, I think. It was a short. It was like 100-page book, a lot of pictures, and just him going over everything he did, from ice and stuff like that, and talking about how he read players on the defensive end. So it was a really good book, learning about Kobe Bryant.
Okay, good deal. Trey, let me ask you this. What do you think of Jackson Robinson's decision to reclass and go to college early?
It kind of blew my mind when I seen it this morning. And honestly, I'm very happy for him. I feel like the type of player he is, he just wants to get better and take his game to that next level. And he's a very hard worker. He's been one of my favorite guys to play with ever. The only thing he wants to do is win. He does not care about shot attempts. He doesn't care about anything else. He just wants to win, and that's what type of people you love to play with and have in your locker room. And I think that it was a great decision for him. Of course, him and his family be whatever they talked about, but I feel like that was a great look at for him, considering the fact that he can be playing at a pivotal role for the Aggies next year. And I think that he is in the right position to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good deal. Yeah, they love him. Coach Buzz Williams and staff, they love him. And I know they are extremely excited in College Station to get that commitment, that early commitment from him. So now, have you been keeping up with I'm going to give this question to both of you guys. Give me your thoughts on this new pro pathway program that the NBA is enticing high school players with. Have you been keeping up with guys like Jalen Green and those decisions they're making? What are your thoughts on that, Colin? I'll start with you.
I think that's obviously a new route that players are taking. I haven't seen anyone do that since I heard the Jalen Green doing it. So I think it's for like other people's like situation. Like you said with like Scottie Pippen, they're trying to probably make money for their family. You don't know what's going on. So maybe that played a role. Or maybe like him, he's a really elite player. So he probably want to play against like old men, people that have been in the game for a while, probably learn from them. Other than playing against kids his age, he can dominate. So I think it's a new route. I don't know, maybe I'll think about it, maybe I won't, but I'll see it in the future.
So if you get a call, you'll consider it in 2022.
Maybe I'll probably have to talk with my family first.
That way, you're definitely gonna have to do that.
Oh yeah.
That goes without saying for anybody. But absolutely, Trey. How about you? What are your thoughts on it?
Honestly, me as a player, I feel like it's putting a lot of pressure on the NCAA. I feel like that the NBA is trying to create a new route for players to be able to develop their game on a pro level instead of having to go to college. I feel like that's putting a lot of pressure on the NCAA to be able to. I think what they just did was make it to where like if a player has like his own personal. Like he gets paid for basically what they sell of his, should I say. I feel like that was like a big leap because I feel like that the G League is definitely like something that kids our age would not mind doing, which is just basically skipping college and playing the level right under pro. And I think that's a good idea for the G League, and I think that it puts a lot of pressure on the NCAA to make some changes.
Yeah, definitely putting a lot of pressure on the NCAA, indeed. And it kind of started last year was kind of the last straw when, we had R.J. Hampton leaving and going to Australia to play his year along with LaMelo Ball. And so the NBA was like, man, listen, if these guys are going to take this pro pathway route, then we'd rather them stay here in the States and be under our umbrella if they're going to do that. So that's now you have this pathway program, and it's sweeping the country. I actually think, and again, the college coaches, we've had this conversation time and time again over the last couple of weeks, and I think the top 5 kids in every class the next couple of years are going to get that phone call. And it's going to hurt college basketball when those guys start to, make that decision. So, it's definitely not for everybody now. I will say that, every high school kid is not ready to go and start playing with grown men. There aren't many that are ready right at that point. So I don't want a lot of these other kids to get any ideas that that's going to be the path to go. No, you gotta be a certain kind of guy to even be on that list for consideration for that. So, but other than that, just keep working, guys. Man, there's nothing wrong with getting a college playing experience and doing that whole March Madness and all of that. So, whatever you do what's best for you. That's the main thing.
And also keep in mind that, that college experience is not just about basketball, obviously. So you're going to have something that, if you can leave with a degree, nobody can take that from you when you're ready to go into the next chapters of your life and, start building businesses or whatever your profession or career outside of basketball. So let me segue real quickly and let's talk about your family support, the level of, what does that mean to each of you in your playing career? And let's talk coronavirus. How important is it that you have your people there for you? Trey, let's go ahead and jump to you.
Family has always been the biggest thing with me. I feel like my dad being the person that has trained me since I have picked up the first time picking up the basketball has trained me my whole life. I feel like it's created a bond, not just in basketball, but also at home to where I feel like I have somebody that I can always talk to. And I have somebody that is always there, like on a personal level, and being able to have my back in any type of certain situation, whether it be basketball or off the court. But I feel like that family plays a big role. My mother, you always catch her yelling at my games. I can hear her over anybody in the stands, as well as my little sister, my grandmother. Family has always played a big role, and they always give me very much the utmost confidence in myself and also in them that they will have my back in any type of situation.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Now, I'm going to say this, Trey. I've watched Trey since he was literally I remember his dad and his uncles, they come down. Now, he has a very rich basketball bloodline. His dad and his uncles both were all players, college players, pro players. So they come down and play pro-am ball with us in Dallas every year for the last however many years. We played at the Mobile. They would come down every year, but his dad would have Trey in tow in the baby carriage, and then as he got older, we remember him running out on the court at halftime and shooting. He was one of those kids. So Trey has been around the game. When you say born into it, he literally was born into the game. So shout out to the Alexander boys, man. Great battles with those guys. Big time players out of Oklahoma. And this kid definitely gets it honestly from his people. So I definitely know he has their support.
Trey, Colin, yes, Coach said baby carriage. He means the stroller.
Stroller, yeah, that's what I meant.
I just have to translate for the young people.
That's how little he was, though.
Colin, of course, we see your dad at every game and your mother. Your mother's in the stands yelling. Your dad is down filming. So I know it's important for you. Just go ahead and talk a little bit about having their presence there for you.
Yeah, obviously family plays a big role. My parents try to make it to every game unless they got something going on. But I have a lot of family. Whenever I'm on their side of town, they always try to come out and watch their cousin play or something like that. So it really means a lot to see your family come out, spend their time and money trying to watch you develop as a player. And I'm just very grateful for all my family trying to show love. So it means a lot.
Like one of the things, and we'll talk about this more on the Mother's Day edition of the broadcast this Sunday, but one of the things I admire about the parents, and especially both of you guys' family structures, is the amount of sacrifices that they make to get you guys from point A to B to C to D to E. I mean, that whole travel grassroots dynamic is a beast within itself. It's a very expensive process. Not only that, but you guys are now going to elite camps and other in addition. So that's another set of travel. So you know, I tell kids all the time, if nothing else, always tell your parents thank you for making those sacrifices. Number one, because it's a extremely expensive process, and whether they had the money or not, they could have done something else with those resources. Yeah. But and number two, I get a chance to see, and a lot of other coaches get a chance. There are a lot of kids who don't get the opportunity or aren't afforded some of the same opportunities. So you got to always have an attitude of gratitude when it comes to that kind of stuff. And nothing wrong with going up to your mom and dad and shocking them out the blue by saying, you know what, Mom, thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you. I guarantee you, if you do that, you'll blow them away, Trey. You'll blow them away, Trey, when you do that. But as we wrap up, I want to thank you guys again for joining us on this broadcast. You guys were fantastic, two really, really remarkable young men. I want you to leave the next young athlete who's watching this broadcast. I want you to leave him with your best piece of advice, trying to follow in your footsteps. And Trey, I'll kick it off with you.
The main thing with me is it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you have to be able to take the good with the bad, and you have to be able to make sacrifices for you, depending on what you want to do with the basketball. My parents have always told me, if you want this very badly, you'll do whatever in your willpower to make sure that you make it to what you want to do. You make sure that your dreams will become reality. So for me, the main thing for me is sacrifices, being able to make it to, being able to do whatever it is in your willpower to make sure that you make it to that next level, and having confidence in yourself throughout the ups and downs, having confidence not only in yourself, but having confidence in your circle, the people that have been there with you since you have came up or anything. Just, you know who those people are around you that have always helped you, and have faith and have confidence in your religion too.
Fantastic. Great words of wisdom. Colin Smith, bring us home.
I would say not to listen to the people that doubt you. I've had my fair share of people when I was younger doubt me as a basketball player. And I would say just to listen to your parents and trainers and people that actually care about your development and about you. Obviously, they're not going to tell you any lies. They're going to be straight up with you. So you should probably listen to them, other than people that just want to see you fail. There's a lot of people like that. So I think just trust the people that are closest to you, keep your circle close, and just work hard, and the results will show.
Wow.
Nice words.
Fantastic. Guys, thank you so much. We are here wrapping up another edition of the SportsInfluencer Roundtable with two 4-star highly recruited prospects in St. Mark's guard Colin Smith and Heritage Hall guard Trey Alexander. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the roundtable.
Thank you for having me.
Thank y'all so much. All right. Good to see you. So glad. Y'all stay safe. And as we wrap, I mean, what a great show. Good kids, really good kids.
Two really good kids, great stories, expecting great things out of those guys in the future. Shout out to the Smith and the Alexander families for job well done on those kids. Again, looking forward to following their journeys and seeing how it all plays out.
Indeed. I'm glad that, again, hopefully everything, I should have asked them, I wonder we'll talk about this on the next show, or the next time we have some student athletes on. I'm curious how they would feel. What if, everything is shut out, where it's only, there's such if there's like a limited crowd of staff and media, maybe, how they would feel with just having no one in the gym.
They'll feel like it would they'll feel like it was practice.
Yeah. Well, listen, they always say, now I come from the show business side of it, and it's like you got to rehearse like it's the show. So you got to practice like it's the game. So hopefully that would be an incredible lesson right there. See how they do. But Yeah, two great kids with great perspectives, and definitely a bright futures for both of them.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm gonna turn you over to the hands of the lovely Miss Christy Renee, and she'll bring you on home. And you guys make sure you tune in. We got another broadcast coming up tomorrow, and then Sunday we got the Mother's Day edition, which is going to be fantastic. So I'll share some more information about that later on.
All right, thank you. I better be surrounded. I need a whole floral backdrop. Working on Mother's Day, Lord. So it should be fun. We'll be celebrating the mamas of basketball. All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate you. And yeah. All right, so we are wrapping up. Do not forget to head over to theheadsupfoundation.org. Not only do we have lots of information about just the whole journey and the mission of Heads Up, but also the virtual classes we have for student athletes and parents. Learning all of those elements that they need to make them better people as they progress in their careers, as well as for parents, the college recruiting process and being able to navigate that with some ease. So on top of that, you are more than welcome to donate and help support us. We lost a lot with this. We lost pretty much everything, had a big year planned, and have been shut down. So we are trying to keep things afloat by being here virtually with you all and talking to as many people and getting as many stories to bring to you personally from these great people, our great guests that we have on the show. So please help us stay afloat. Donate at theheadsupfoundation.org today. And on a last note, I know we opened up the show with a message of talking about Georgia, but I want to send my love and condolences and comfort to two of my closest friends, sister friends, who had very personal losses, unexpected losses in the last 7 days. It's just been a tough week. And so to everyone during this season, it's been so difficult not being able to comfort those we love and those we care about, because there's just this fear of this virus. And the virus is real. And so I just want to send my heartfelt love to them and to everyone that all across the globe that is having to lay to rest their loved ones. And again, during this season in particular, it is extremely difficult. It's just compounded with not being able to hug and love on those that are in need. So please be good to one another, be kind, and tomorrow's not promised. So please take care of each other. All right, we are out. I am done. You all be blessed. Stay home, stay safe. Try not to get out if you don't have to, and cover up if you do. All right. Bye, everybody. Until next time, be well.